Hello, welcome back for more math. Today we are going to be doing lesson 6.4, which is area of squares and rectangles. So with this lesson, it's a little bit different than what we've been doing recently with the counting of individual squares. This time we are going to be using multiplication and division. Actually, not even division, just multiplication. Sorry, got a little ahead of myself. We're just going to be using multiplication to solve the area of a square or a rectangle. So as usual, I will be doing your solve and share, your look back, the visual learning with Fred, your convince me, and then I will try to do some of your guided practice with you. So go ahead and turn to your solve and share, which is on page 221. And today your solve and share is...
Jorge is carpeting 2 rooms. One room is a square with a side that measures 6 meters. The other room is a rectangle with sides that measure 3 meters and 12 meters. How many square meters of carpet does Jorge need?
Okay, so we need to figure out how many square meters of carpet Jorge needs. So basically we need to find the area of this square and this rectangle. So what you'll notice is for these problems, they don't have individual squares like we did earlier. All they gave us was the length of the sides. So for a square, what you need to think about for a square, in order for a square to be perfect, the length and the width of the square are all the same. So for example, for the width of this square, we know the width is 6. So if this width is 6, the width on the other side is always going to be the same. So if this is 6, this is going to be 6. And since squares are perfect or are the same length on each side, if this is 6 and this is 6, the length is also going to be 6. Because if you have a length that's bigger, then that's when it becomes a rectangle. So for a square, all the sides are always the same. So for a rectangle, it's kind of the same. The width on one side is always going to be the same of the width on the other side, and then the length on one side is going to be the same. It's going to be the length on the other side. So if this is 12, we know that this side is also going to be 12. And then if this length is 3, we know that this side is also going to be 3. Okay, so a way to calculate area, instead of, if they don't give you boxes to count, a way that you can calculate area is timesing one length, just one, you don't have to do all the lengths, one length of the shape times one width. So you don't have to do all the numbers together. You can just do one length and one width. So let's do the square. We'll do, let me change my color. Let's do green. So let's do the width of the square, we know is 6. And then we'll do one length of a square, which is also 6. So for the square, we can do 6 times 6, which will give us an area of 36. And then the same thing for the rectangle. Let's do purple. The width is 12. And then let's times it by one width, which is going to be 3. So your problem will be 12 times 3. So you could do 12 plus 12 plus 12 to figure out the answer. Or if you do multiplication, you will also get 36. So both the rectangle and the square have an area of 36. So go ahead and draw that in your solve and share. And then for your look back, let me go ahead and divide this page. Not make it blue, Miss Hanson, no. Go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and divide my page since I don't have a section for my look back. I don't know what I just did there. Anyways, for your look back, it says, what do you notice about the lengths of the sides and the areas of the 2 rooms Jorge is carpeting? So let's do what we notice that is the same. Can I move this? Is this going to let me move? There we go. Yay! Okay, so this is your look back. We know that both shapes have the same area. And then What do you notice about the lengths? The lengths, okay, so if we go the length of the square is 6, whereas the length of the rectangle is 3. So we could say that the length of the rectangle is half of the length of the square, because half of 6 is 3. So let's go ahead and say that. The length of the rectangle is half of the length of the square. And we could actually also say the same thing for the width, because the width of the rectangle is 12, whereas the width of the square is 6, and 6 is half of 12. So we could also, let's go ahead and add that, why not? And let's say the length of the rectangle is half of the square, and the width of the square is half of the width of the rectangle. Oh, tangle. Oh my. Okay, so that is your look back. We are going to go ahead and move on to Fred. Look back. So go ahead and write that at your look back, and go ahead and move on to 222 so we can do Fred. Woohoo! Okay, moving on to visual learning with Fred. And you guys, wait, why does this look like kind of creepy? Like usually we have a green background and now we have a red background and Fred's like staring at us and it's kind of freaking me out. But we're gonna go ahead and get started so we can get rid of this because this is scary.
How can you find the area of a figure? Mike wants to paint a wall in his room. A small can of paint covers 40 square feet. Does Mike need more than one small can to paint a rectangular wall of his room? To find out, we need to know the area of the wall in Mike's room. One way is to count the square units to find area. Each square unit represents 1 square foot. There are 48 square units. The area of Mike's wall is 48 square feet. Another way is to count the number of rows and multiply by the number of squares in each row. How many rows are there? How many squares in each row?
Select your answer.
Ooh, okay. So this is kind of like an array, like how we did multiplication. This is basically an array. How many rows are there and how many squares are in each row? So row is going across, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, and then in each row there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope this is right. Yay! Okay. Cool. Oh, forgot to press play.
There are 8 rows and 6 squares in each row. Multiply to find the area of the wall. 8 times 6 equals 48. The area of Mike's wall is 48 square feet. Will Mike need more than one small can of paint?
Select your answer.
So one small can of paint can cover 40 square feet, but we need 48. So will Mike need more than one? Yes. Yay!
Yes, he will need more than one small can of paint.
Now you know different ways to find the area of a figure.
Whee! Okay, we are going to go ahead and move on to your Convince Me. And your Convince Me today is...
Mike plans to paint a wall in his living room blue. That wall measures 10 feet tall and 8 feet wide. What is the area of the wall that Mike plans to paint blue? How many cans of paint will he use? A small can of paint covers 40 square feet.
Okay, so Mike is going to paint a wall blue. So let's go ahead and use blue. So you can go ahead and start drawing this on your paper. That is not a good wall at all. But anyways, the wall measures 10 feet tall. So we know that the wall is 10 feet tall, and then the width of this wall is 8 feet. So we got 10 and 8. So let's go ahead and multiply. Let me go and switch to black. So we can do 10 times 8, and that will give us 80. Okay? But each can only cover 40. Each can only cover 40 square feet. So how many cans of paint will he need? So let's do, he'll need 1 because, well, he'll need more than 1 actually. So let's do 40, 80 minus 40, that'll give us 40 again. So he'll need about 2. 40 plus 40 will give us 80. So he'll need 2 cans of paint. Woo! Paint! Yeah! Okay, so yeah, he'll need 2 cans of paint. There you go. That is your convince me. Let's go ahead and move on to your guided practice. Okay, so today, or not today, we're going to go ahead and move on to your guided practice. Your guided practice today is on page 223. You only need to do 1 through 7, so it's not very much today. I would actually even start at another example because this is a way to show you how division can also help you find the area, or can help you find one of the missing lengths. So for example, the area of another wall in Mike's room is 56. So in this problem, they already gave you the area. The area, or the wall, is 8 feet high. How wide is the wall? So now you're just trying to find the missing number. So 56 equals 8 times what? You can use division to solve 56 divided by 8 equals blank. 56 divided by 8 will give you 7. So the wall is 7 feet wide. So you know that 8 times 7 will give you the whole area of 56. So they're just showing you how you could use division. So I will go ahead and do 1 and 2 with you. Unfortunately, can't write anything, so you are going to just have to listen and then write at the same time in your books. So number 1, it says Suji's garden is 4 yards long and 4 yards wide. What is the area of Suji's garden? So I would make a box, write the number 4 on the length, and then write the 4 on the width, and then you would just have to do 4 times 4, solve that, and that's going to give you the area. I'm not going to go ahead and say the answer. You guys can do that. And then number 2, the area of Mitchie's garden is 32 square units. So for this one, they already solved the area for you. So the total area is going to be 32. So maybe in your book, go ahead and write a big 32 in the middle, because that's the total. The garden is 8 feet long. How wide is Mitchie's garden? So you would need to make a division problem out of this. So you would do 32 divided by 8, because that's the length they already gave you, equals question mark. And that's what you were trying to solve for. So you need to do 32 divided by 8 will give you blank. And you guys can go ahead and solve that, but that will be your missing length, okay? I think that's it for now. You just have to do 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and it looks like 7 is the only one that's going to be a division problem. So go ahead and do that. Before I end my video, I have a couple shout outs that I need to do. I asked if you guys wanted a shout out on my Google Forms. I believe it was last Friday, so last week, and I did get a couple, so shout out to Esteban A, to Mason, to Isaiah, to Reese, to Mia T, Mia Labodi, to Lucas, Melania, Aliana, Kaylee, Izzy, Kobe, Esteban B, Abby. Abby hit that notification button, so she always gets my videos. Audrey, Olivia, Gia, Evelyn, Nimmer, and Jacob. So thank you guys for filling out my Google Forms. And thanks for watching my videos. Like it, subscribe. I don't know what else you do to videos, but do that. Yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll catch you probably next week. Yeah. Okay, bye!